the prepper community, also known as Doomsday Preppers, popularized by a reality television show that I've never seen. I don't have a television, by the way. If I did have a television, I still wouldn't be interested in watching that show. I do watch some things on Netflix, however. But I'm getting sidetracked. Happens easily. Anyway, Doomsday Preppers. Often considered to be conspiracy theorists, and many are, but the act of preparing for doomsday does not necessarily make one a conspiracy theorist. It certainly doesn't necessarily make one crazy. There was an article I read today. I'll link it below. It was by The Guardian, and it is talking about a NASA study which predicted using computer models that civilization was likely to end within decades. It also references a few other studies that have predicted the end of civilization within about 15 years. Now, of course, this is really just looking into a crystal ball. We can't say for certain how things are going to go, and their computer models could be completely off. Predictions of the future tend to not turn out very well. However, this computer model they're talking about was really only considering a couple of factors. It was considering population growth and use and distribution of resources in society. It wasn't considering, for instance, a disease epidemic or some type of natural disaster, a mini ice age, or a coronal mass ejection hitting Earth. Any of these things, though sometimes they could be short-lived in nature, would be enough to bring down society. And any of them individually at any given time. I'll take one of these things, a coronal mass ejection hitting Earth. It is extremely unlikely that right now, as I am making this video, a mass ejection will hit Earth and all power will be knocked out. But if you take the probability over time, like say over the next century, the probability that this will happen, or that a major epidemic will happen, or that a mini ice age will happen, or that climate change will affect in some other way, it begins to become evident that the likelihood that a few hundred years from now we will have the Star Trek of our dreams rather than the road warrior of our nightmare, it's less likely than we would hope. The probability of having a bright utopian future is not as high as a dystopian future. There have been other advanced societies, not nearly as advanced as we are, but they have come down too. They have collapsed too. And the people living before the collapse probably didn't even consider that they might. And the people who said they might were probably viewed as crazy. But anyway, preparing to survive a catastrophe that could potentially even temporarily bring down civilization is not a crazy thing to do at all. I think about my own situation. I live in a moderately sized city in one of the most highly populated states in the United States. If civilization were to collapse, there is almost no level of preparation that I could accomplish here that would make it possible for me and my family to stay alive. If, taking one thing as an example, if a mass ejection were to hit Earth, knock out all power, and if you don't know how this would happen, I suggest you look into it. But if that were to happen, all power is gone. Nobody's able to drive a car, nobody's able to buy groceries, clean water runs out. Within a few weeks, the area where I live is going to be a violent, desperate place. And I would have no way of getting out of it. Nobody would have any way of getting out of it. It would be horrible. And worldwide, there would be billions of people dying. It would. I don't mean to overuse the word horrible, because that would be horrible. But it would be horrible. Anyway, Doomsday Prepper community. Some people are crazy. If you are stockpiling weapons and ammunition, and hoping that a disaster happens that will bring down society because it will give you an excuse to shoot people, you're crazy. But even the act of having weapons, the act of having ammunition in preparation for if something really bad did happen, that's not crazy. Having food, not crazy. Having precious metals, may be misdirected. If I'm starving to death and I have a gold coin and you have a can of beans, you're not going to give me the can of beans for the gold coin. You're going to eat the can of beans and I'm going to die with the gold coin in my pocket. But still, preparing for a disaster, not crazy at all. Thanks for watching. I will be making more videos on this subject, I'm sure. So if you're interested in doomsday preparation, if you're a doomsday prepper and you want to convince me that I should take more action in preparing for doomsday, or if you're an anti-doomsday prepper and you think people should just not prepare, feel free to comment or send me a message or make a video reply or whatever you want to do. Thank you.